Hello, I'm Maria Hall-Brown, and this is LA Currents. Through the stay-at-home orders, Angelenos had remarkably clean air. An anomaly, perhaps, but if our next guest has any say in the matter, it will become a reality. I'm delighted to welcome to LA Currents Matt Petersen, the CEO and president of the Los Angeles Cleantech Incubator, otherwise known as LACI.
Yep.
We saw such clean air. Now, there were a number of factors involved, obviously. There was, the lack of traffic because people not going out. There was rain and there was wind. But LACI has an initiative, Zero Emissions 2028, that will hopefully replicate that beautiful crystal clear air. So how is it going, and did we learn anything from the early part of the pandemic that you're utilizing?
I think so. LA is historically known for some of the worst air in the nation, and we still have the worst air in the nation. So when we were experiencing cleaner air, quieter streets, safer streets, people discovered the benefits of fewer cars on the road, better air quality, and quieter neighborhoods. We are really focused at LACI with our transportation electrification partnership, which includes Mayor Garcetti, the County of Los Angeles, through Supervisor Hahn's leadership, to see how we can accelerate the move to zero emissions transportation. It would clean up the air to get those dirty diesel trucks replaced by zero emission trucks that come from the ports, and those residents that live along the I-710 corridor and other freeways suffer from the dirtiest air in the region and the nation. 15 states have joined with California on our clean car rule, and 5 major automakers have joined. I
was going to say, the automakers, despite whatever,
they're headed this way no matter what.
Right.
The folks in the White House can try to roll back rules and requirements, but the industry is headed this direction towards electric vehicles, as are heavy-duty truck manufacturers. So it's a foregone conclusion. People can try to slow it down, but it's going to happen.
What are some of the other programs that LACI participates in?
We're focused on 2 other areas, what we call unlocking innovation. How do we help entrepreneurs create the next killer app, so to speak, to help us solve the climate crisis? And it could be anything from making it easier for you or I to buy solar if we own a home, or buying compostable cups like Repurpose, one of our startups manufacturers, or one of our newer startups called Amply, making it easier for public fleets to charge their vehicles. There are so many great solutions that entrepreneurs are bringing forth, so how do we help them grow those businesses? One of the things we do in that work is also try to recruit diverse entrepreneurs, underrepresented founders of companies, women and people of color, black founders, brown founders. Those communities have a tougher time getting access to capital. That's just institutional barriers, bias, and so we're there to help them succeed in bringing their idea forth and get it funded and invested in.
Seems like electricity is at the cornerstone of so many of these green initiatives because of the fact that it's a clean source of energy. Right. Have you noticed that has become easier to attain, easier to manipulate?
Yeah, I think as we're moving in California to 100% clean energy, including here in the city of Los Angeles with the Department of Water and Power, moving in that direction, there's really a focus on the opportunity in reducing air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. And we're seeing extreme heat right now, and with extreme heat comes extreme drought, and with extreme heat and extreme drought, we get fires. And then of course with extreme weather, we get things like freak lightning storms that ignite the fires going on right now in California. So what do we do to take responsibility for reducing those emissions while making our communities more livable? So the solution that electricity provides as we move to more and more renewable energy from solar, wind, and geothermal is a clean source of fuel, not just to power our buildings and put the lights on, which get increasingly efficient from LEDs and other technologies. It's also the fuel that can go into our vehicles. That is really the future. Now we're seeing more and more electric vehicle startups in the LA region. Canoe is one down in Torrance, another is Fisker Automotive. There are many more in the LA area. They're creating jobs here. They're creating innovation, and those vehicles are all powered by electricity. And electricity is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. So those are the kinds of solutions that we're working on with our startups, with our corporate and government partners, as well as with our workforce training.
Now, needless to say, this is to benefit Los Angeles as a city, et cetera. And Los Angeles is very innovative in and of itself. I mean, the West is, incredibly creative from, top to bottom. But where do you look to see, other places that might be moving in a direction that you can, steal little ideas
Sure.
or get inspired by their ideas? So
Yeah.
where are you looking? Because I know
Yeah.
that you have a very broad perspective, even before you came to LACI.
Well, we look all sorts of places. I mean, LA is probably one of the most innovative regions. I mean, Mayor Garcetti and the City Council, led by Nuri Martinez, and the support of Housing Chair Gil Cedillo, who approves all their community development funding that we get. Other members of the council like Paul Koretz or Paul Krikorian, the list goes on. We get ideas from them sometimes, and that's some of the exciting. If the mayor's office or council offices will send us, hey, we got asked about this technology. Remember that mug made from paper? We got asked if it's something the city should buy, and would you take a look at it? So we get a little bit of that. So we get some homegrown, lead generation, if you will, to look at. But we also go and scout ideas nationally. So when we want to learn from innovations, we'll look, whether it's the Bay Area, New York, sometimes further afield, in places like Paris, or the circular economy. How do we recycle that ceramic mug made from paper, and the chemistry that's involved? How can you do something with it afterwards so that we just don't end up with more trash in the landfill that, there is no more way. We don't have any more places to throw our stuff forever. Really looking at all those factors to find innovation, and sometimes it's introduction. Sometimes the people, they self-select and apply for our programs, but you've always got to be scouting and looking for ideas and entrepreneurs to keep the innovation coming.
So if somebody wants information about LACI or wants to get involved with LACI, I mean, should there be is there a pause in terms of just sort of waiting for things to open up more?
We've been recruiting for our Founders Business Accelerator right now, which we're in the middle of our latest workforce training program, which is both virtually and in person with social distance measures outside, of course, when we're doing our trainings in the field. We'll be doing the same with our Founders Business Accelerator, which is the small business program. We would invite any small business in the city of LA to go to LACI.org and apply for that. It's LACI.org. And then we'll be going out for applications for our core incubation program soon too. So there's a number of ways people can get engaged now. They don't have to wait for the COVID crisis to pass for free immunization to happen, or antibodies to take hold. We can't hold our breath forever. We need to continue the work, and we have been and will, and we're excited about people joining us on that journey.
I've had the opportunity on several days, this is anecdotal by the way, but to chat with some young Angelinos, and how they're feeling about what's happening. And one of them said something that I thought was really profound, that this is the most entrepreneurial generation that is coming out. Are you noticing that? Are you feeling that too? That there is an entire new verve from millennials and younger, that they are entrepreneurial, that they want to take it into their own hands?
Absolutely, and I say, I think it's the traditional for-profit entrepreneurial spirit, but also the social entrepreneurial spirit of really taking responsibility for changing our communities and taking the future by the horns, if you will, and shaping that future. I mean, history is not preordained. We can guide it and direct it. And that was what I saw when I marched with my son during the Black Lives Matter protests with 50,000 people out in the streets of Hollywood. There were no cops on the street. There was no clear leaders. It was self-organized, led by youth, inspired by youth, guided by youth. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. And then we know we need to deal with racial injustice and climate justice together. Without dealing with both, we're just going to create deeper rooted problems for future generations to address. So this generation is standing up and taking responsibility and challenging leaders to do the same. And I'm inspired by that, and it gives me great hope.
Well, it was really great to talk to you. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you so much.
Best of everything, of course.
Same to you.